Jane, you can go ahead. Hey, everyone. I'm John Yang, and I will be the presenter today. And today's topic is actually going to be on, it's going to be Bing Ads pay-per-click webinar, actually. So fix that here. And today you'll learn basically last week we did a webinar on Google Ads. So this week is really going to be focused on Bing Ads. And we're going to find out why Bing is something you should consider. We're kind of compare the pros and cons of Bing AI and why every business should consider um, using Bing as well if you're using Google Ads to run it. This cohort here is sponsored by Hennepin County. The Tech Essential program, Elevate Hennepin, it's geared towards helping entrepreneurs and small businesses in Hennepin County. If you have any questions or would like to know more about the program, you can visit the website. We will be sharing the presentation online as well, so you can access the links. Table content, it's going to be very similar to Google Ads. Basically, we kept it the same because we're going to be doing an overview of the AI and how that works with Bing and Google, a plan of action, flowchart, research analysis, and then we'll do a live demo. And wanted to just mention thank you to our partners, Chinese Chamber of Commerce, Asian Act Media, AABRN, and Digital Synergy for making this cohort happen. Quick overview again, it's going to be very similar to last week's webinar. The search engine market share, this is a little old. Right now, Bing probably has about 9 to 10%. With the new AI technology that Bing has with ChatGPT, Bing has gotten a lot more traction now. But just to kind of let you know, Google has about 90% of the market share for search engine, 80 to 90%. And Bing has about close to 10% now. So the Bing Search Network, here's a little bit of information about the Bing Search Network. At any time, if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop it into the chat box and we will answer your questions. So Microsoft Network has over 109 million desktop searches and users in their network. So a lot of PCs that you buy at the store comes with Bing browser with the Microsoft browser. There's over 46 million desktop searches on the Bing network and over 6 billion monthly desktop searches on the Microsoft network. And the market share for the Microsoft desktop is about 38% for Microsoft. So a lot of new computers that you buy that has Windows installed will come default with Edge, which is the Microsoft browser and the Bing search network. And a lot of people, they like to use that too. And sometimes, like myself, I like to install and use both Google and Bing because the searches, the search results are a little bit different because the algorithms are a little bit different. So sometimes you may get better results on Bing, on Microsoft, and sometimes you can get better results on Google. So I like to use both. Here is a quick overview of the Bing local search ad layout. Basically, I just typed in AI digital marketing agency in Minneapolis. I'll do some live demo in a bit where I will actually do some searches and kind of see what the difference is between the Bing browser, Microsoft browser, and the Google browser. So the layout is a little bit different. Bing ads, A little bit overview of Bing pay-per-click ads. They are Bing very similar to Google. They have their keyword planner tool where you can do keyword research. If you know how to set up Google Ads, Bing Ads is very similar. You can probably do the same thing and just kind of follow the steps and navigate through their own platform. So they have their own platform that they have. And yes, again, Google has about 80+% of the global search market, but Microsoft itself, comes with in second about 9 to 10%. The gap is significant, but with more than 1 billion unique users, visitors each month, there are still plenty of people using the Bing platform, the Microsoft platform, and Bing can be, a lot of people see better results through Bing. I know that for sure. Even though you don't get the traffic as you would with Google, the traffic that you get and the leads that you get from Bing will typically be at a higher rate than Google. According to Microsoft Search Network data, there's about 14 billion monthly PC searches and over 600 million unique users. So that's something you should consider in terms of factor beyond audience size. Jane, did you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to make sure because the slides is not appearing anymore. And
Oh, the slide on my
yeah.
computer.
Hmm.
Let me just check the connection here. Let me stop sharing and reshare again.
Hmm.
Okay, let me know if you can see it.
Yep, that's good.
Okay. Okay, again, so Bing is something where you should still consider, even though the Microsoft Edge browser and search engine gets a little bit less, a significant amount less searches and traffic compared to Google. Here's a little bit comparison of Bing ads in Google. Most small to medium-sized companies know the importance of advertising on Google Ads, but many marketers, you can't really sleep on Microsoft ads, Bing ads, because marketing campaign on Microsoft is just as easier, if not easier. And it's just like I said, it's basically if you can set up Google ad campaign, you can do the same for Bing ads, and they're very similar platform in terms of how you read the numbers and how you set up the ads and how you write the content. Just a little bit, the platform is just different. The way they have it designed and the layout, everything is a little different. Um, and again, the different networks between Google and Microsoft are also very different too. So that's why you can reach an audience with Google Ads, whereas you may not able to reach those particular network if you don't use Microsoft Ads. So that's something where you need to consider is why you need to use Microsoft, because they have their own network that they run the ads to as well. So there's both pros and cons. I think it's both beneficial to use both at the same time. From agencies perspective, yes, we do try both and use both and monitor both, because those are, still good um, lead generating search engines that you can tap into. Again, some of the Bing network could be MSN, Yahoo, AOL, Microsoft, and smaller partner sites that's are owned and operated by syndicated search partners. Um, you can also narrow your ad distribution depending on where you want to run your ads as well. Whereas Google has a search partner network as well, which has a broader reach. Um, and if your customers are using Outlook and Gmail, Microsoft ads might be for you, versus Google. If you're running Google ads, like Gmail may see those ads, versus if you're running Microsoft ads, when you go to Outlook and Microsoft related sites, you'll probably see those similar ads as well. Some of the benefits for Bing, it's less competition. You can kind of fine tune your search targeting, granular targeting, whereas there's more flexibility when you target broader audience and like a smaller granular targeting. So there's benefits. Those are some of the benefits when you run Bing ads. The cost per click rate is also lower because there's less competition. Meaning, when I say less competition, there's less advertisers bidding for a particular keyword, right? So not everyone is using Bing. A lot of people rather just use Google and go with one platform. So there's less competition. When there's less competition, the cost is not going to be as high. One thing I like about Bing is that it's connected to LinkedIn profile. So LinkedIn profile targeting capabilities, Bing has that option when you look into that platform. So I think that's one thing. If you're a small business and you like to use Bing to target leads, um, if you like to use LinkedIn ads has their own platform to target leads, but what I meant was if you use LinkedIn already, then you may want to consider Bing ads because you can target LinkedIn through Bing ads as well. Looks like we got a question here. Does the ad cost the same as Google ads? No. So we'll try to do some comparison. What I'll try to do is maybe search a particular keyword through Bing, see how much that will cost, and then we'll do the same for Google and try to see what the cost difference is between the two platforms. So yeah, like I said, I believe it really depends on the competition and the bid when it comes to cost. So not to say that the cost for Bing won't be higher. It could be the other way around too, where Bing ads may cost a little higher, but for the most part, it won't because everyone's on Google ad, and most of the competition is on Google ads. So the ad campaign structure is very similar to Google. So if you were last month with the campaign structure, we want to set up a campaign. And so the campaign, when you think about a campaign, think about, that's like the high level setup, right? Where you set up your targeting area, whether it's a particular city like Minneapolis, or is this all the whole state of Minnesota, or US, or internationally, right? So that's where you set up your configuration at the campaign level. And we'll go through that later during our demo. It looks like Hugo is on. I forgot to mention earlier, Hugo will be doing some demo on that too. And he'll be walking you guys through how to set up the campaign and everything. So I think we'll, at the 1 hour mark, we'll try to give Hugo more time. I know last time we were kind of rushing a little bit to get things done. So we'll give Hugo more time to do demo. And for those of you who don't know Hugo, he is a pay-per-click expert in Bing and Google advertising. And he's managed Fortune 500 clients and big budgets.
Thank you, John. I popped in here about 5 minutes late. I didn't want to interrupt, but thank you for the introduction.
Yeah, no problem. I kept the slide the same. Google Ads plan of action. It's really the same thing. Basically, you want to set up a Google account, you want to set up a Bing account, Bing ads. So Bing doesn't have a YouTube channel, so we don't need to set up a video channel. The landing page strategy is really still the same. Basically, you'll have a landing page, you have cost management goals and objectives, and then you want to set your website conversion, tracking conversion as well. Once it's all done, you will launch it, monitor, and make proper adjustments. So this is a screenshot of the Bing keyword search web page. I also added the link URL to the top here as well. So anyone who wants to go back to the slide, you can also click on the link to access the keyword planner tool. So it's very similar to Google, and we'll show you this during our demo. Comparative research and analysis. This is going to be very similar to last week, where if you have third-party tools to use, such as I was using SEMrush last time. We also use SpyFu, which is a competitive analysis website app, and tools. These third-party tool can give you some insights in terms of, you can track to see what the budget your competitors are spending for their budget. You can spy on their ads that they write, their ad copy. You can look at that. You can look at the landing page that they use for their ads. So again, before you do any type of advertising, it's good to do some competitive analysis and see what your competitors are doing on their side to give you some ideas and fine-tune your campaign. Ad copy, same thing. You could look at your competitors and see what they're writing. Some of the competitor tools, it'll show you the best performing ads, and there's a reason why it's performing well. It may have good content, ad copy. It may have good call to action words. So say, look at what your competitors are writing and doing, and give that idea to help you write your ad copy. And also using AI tools can help you write ad copies and come up with strategies and ideas. So at this point, we can kind of go through again, because I know some people may not be here last week. So I'll just share my screen here and run some of the tools so you all can see. So this is the homepage of the keyword planner again. It's a good tool. It's different because Microsoft, they keep their own numbers compared to what Google does. And I'm going to go into SEMrush to just kind of give you guys a quick overview of what we did last week. So SEMrush is a third-party paid subscription tool. You can use it as a free tool, but you'll be limited in terms of what you can do, the options, functionality. So I don't know if anyone has any keyword website that you would like me to do research on, but if not, I can kind of just do like the basic of, I think last week we were using digital marketing. So let's say let's do SEO services. And looking at SEMrush, it'll tell me the national volume, which is for SEO services. It gets about 33,000 searches per month. How difficult is it? It's very hard. It's 82%. Globally, US gets about 31,000. Global has the search for SEO services is about 70,000. The average cost per click is about $11. And then the tool here will give you keyword ideas. So there's over 18,000 keyword ideas that I can look at. If I want to look at this, I can click on it. I can export it into Excel sheet. So for example, if I want to see all 18,000 keywords, I can look at it. I can export it into Excel sheet. So if you're really doing some keyword research, you may want to consider some of these ideas. Like professional SEO services gets about 3,600 per month. And all these are kind of it's kind of scheduled by it's listed by top highest volume searches to lowest. So the lower you go, the longer term it gets. So they call it long tail keywords, right? So long tail keywords are words that consist of more than 2 keywords. So someone could be typing in like multiple keyword search, like a sentence and searching. So those will probably get less volume, but those are more, has a higher intent of someone searching for something like SEO services in Kansas City versus SEO services, right? So as you go down in volume, again, the keyword will have more than 2 keywords. It won't be as broad. So that's and again, last time we spoke about the different match type as well. We have broad match, phrase match, and exact match. Broad match will cover everything that contains SEO and services. Phrase match meaning it has to contain that specific phrase. Like someone has to type in SEO services for if you were to run ads, for your ad to show up for people to see. And exact match would have to be the exact match. So phrase match could be, so if SEO services is in a sentence, right? Someone could be searching SEO services in Kansas City, then that phrase SEO services will trigger your ad to show for that user searching for it. Versus if you do exact match, that particular search SEO services has to be searched for your ads to show up. So if it's more than SEO services, it's not going to show. So it's important for you to understand different matches. But if you don't have a big budget, I'd say stick to exact and phrase match, so you won't burn your budget, and so that you can target more specific audience within your niche, and that's going to be more effective, so that you can really find the people that are searching with the right intentions. And then as we last time, so this is just like an insight of the keyword searches. This is the tool that I use, but you can also use Bing search keyword tool as well. So since we're talking about keyword research here, let's look at Bing here, and let's say let's do SEO services. Let's see what it shows. So Bing is shown about close to 4,000 searches per month. Actually, this is within 3 months. Let's say 30 days, right? So within 30 days, from July to August, there's about close to 2,000 searches or impressions for the keyword SEO services. That's in the United States. And this keyword tool is a little bit different from Google, because I know Google, you can set it to like just a particular state. You can break it down to just particular state, but it looks like with Bing, they only show up to the country. And then you can see the list of keywords and impressions. Impressions, if you don't know what impressions mean, it just means that the number of times your ads were shown, right? So 2,000 meaning there were searches for top SEO services, and 2,000 times that trigger the particular ad to show. And you'll learn more about this once you set this up, because then once you have impressions, then you want to look into click-through rate too. If you have high impression and low click-through rate, then that's not good, because that means that your ads is not really attracting the proper clicks, and it may not be relevant, right? So there's something you need to look at where maybe you're running some keywords that's not related to what your website is as well, or what you're putting on your ad copy is not really what people are searching for. So that's something you may want to look into. So you want a good click-through rate with low impression, right? And the way some of these platform works is, the higher the click-through rate, the less you have to pay, versus if you're running ads for keywords that's not related, and you have a high impression rate, then the platform will charge you more to run your ads too, because even though it's not, because it knows that it's not relevant. So listed by related keywords, question keywords, and newly discovered keywords, but most of the searches here would be through the related keywords, and there's about up to 100 looks like it's showing up to 125, 10 of 125 pages per row here. Top ranking URL for the keyword here. So Bing has their also shows the results for who's ranking for who's the top 10 for SEO services on Bing on the Microsoft Edge. And you can on the left side here, you also have other tools that you can look into. And Hugo will show you a little bit more about this. This is more of a webmaster tool where Bing will look at your site performance, your URL, if there's any issues, your index, and all that. So this is very similar to Google Search Console Webmaster. So if you guys don't know what that is, we'll be teaching this next class. This is kind of connected to analytics, right? Looking at the traffic that's coming to your website, looking at tracking your conversion, return on investment, and also your website health. And having a webmaster tool, it'll tell you if you have any broken links, if you have any issues, if your website has been flagged for spam, vice versa. But for this demo here, we're really just kind of using the keyword research tools here. And it's the data is a little different, but I would say it's safe to say that if you're doing keyword research on Google, or if you're using a third-party tool, it's going to be very similar because as you can see, SEO Services has is a top keyword. It has 33,000 searches, and then if I compare that with Bing, it's very similar as well. Has 3,000 searches for the United States. If I want to sort it by impressions only, I can look at this. And here are some of the top impression keywords from SEO down to top SEO services. And this will give you kind of insights of what people are searching for. So let's do like 100. Yeah. So these are something you would consider instead of just SEO service. You may want to put best or top SEO services. Some people search with adjectives. So that's a tool. Again, if you want to look at some competition who are running ads, you can search on the Bing website itself, and you can kind of see what they're running ads on. So if I was to go to Bing and I typed in SEO services, the way the layout works is also a little different from Google too. Bing lists some of the ads up top, followed by the organic, and then by the local maps. So then you have the local maps on the bottom here. And now if you guys notice, there's a chat bot here too now. So Bing has integrated that into their menu here for the search. So people are using the AI now, which is important too. And again, the AI, when we spoke last time, it is connected to the search engine results. So having credible information, Bing is pulling in information from these credible resources on the search engines. Anything else, Hugo? Anything else that you think we should touch on for the keyword tool, competitive analysis?
No, I think you covered most of it. It's almost identical to Google, so like you mentioned already. But it's pretty straightforward. Just plug in your services or keywords related. And it'll output the estimates.
Yeah. And again, if you guys have any questions or need some ideas, some of these tools here you can search for. I know we mentioned SEMrush and SpyFu. SpyFu is also a free website you can sign up with, and you can kind of get limited access to do what you need to do. So if I wanted to search for that keyword SEO services, it's very similar to SEMrush. They're pulling most of the data here looks like they're pulling from Google. But it's very similar if you want to look at your competition, see how much you're spending. Like right here, most successful advertisers and their best ads. You can see the monthly budget, total keywords they're targeting. You can click on their ad to look at their ad copy. So it's very similar, and you can basically run almost the same ad copy as you would with Google and Bing. And Hugo will do some demo. I believe it's very similar in terms of character limit. Any questions with any of the tools that we've used so far? And I guess since this is related to AI, we can talk a little bit about ChatGPT and how you can utilize ChatGPT to help build strategies. So if I wanted to, let me log in again. Let's see. So you can use ChatGPT to help build a strategy for you. And what we can do is we can even ask ChatGPT to build a strategy for Bing ads. So let's see. Build a Bing ads. So I basically just asked build a Bing ads PPC strategy. And then it'll give me some goals and objectives. First, we want to do research and analysis. Again, what I just showed, we want to do keyword research, competitive analysis. And then once we know what we plan to target, what we need to target, then we can start the campaign. We can segmenting and targeting. We can segment the audience. Who are we targeting? The demographic, location, where are we targeting? We can set the ad scheduling, budgets, and bid. So what's your monthly budget? What type of bidding do you want to set? Manual or automated bidding, sorry. So there's different ways you can set the bidding. A lot of people like to use manual because they have more control. You can adjust your bid from for high performance in keywords and ad placement and ad creation, right? Relevancy, making sure that your ad copy is relevant to your keyword, your intended audience, and your landing page. CTAs, call to action, using strong call to action, encourage user to take desired actions. So make sure you have keywords like call now or free, stuff like that will engage in user to click on your ads. Also set ad extensions. You can add extra links, phone number to your ads, and also do A/B testing. A/B testing meaning testing two different ads, right? See which one works the best. You can also do two different landing pages and see which one works the best as well. Landing page optimization, ensure that the landing page is relevant to the ad copy. If your landing page, your website is not relevant to what your ads are, you can get penalized for that. Your ads can cost a lot more, and you can have a high bounce rate, and that can affect your campaign. Campaign settings, you can set it to device targeting, ad distribution, negative keywords, very similar to Google. And then performance tracking and optimization. You can track analytics, universal event tracking, regular audience, and then ChatGPT recommend scaling. Once you have identified the campaigns, ad group, and keywords that are performing well, consider increasing budgets and then decreasing budgets for the ones that are not performing as well. Stay updated, digital marketing PPC landscape evolve. So meaning there's always some type of updates and new features that will be added. So you want to stay updated. So that's what I like about ChatGPT. You can use it to build strategies and you can ask questions. If I wanted to say, maybe help me write ad copy, right? And then it'll continue on to what you talked about earlier in terms of how to write ad copy for e-commerce, for a software or local business. And vice versa. It'll give you some examples of how to write the ads. And that's pretty much it with the AI tools. There are some tools that I showed last week that can kind of give you ideas of what to write, but not to confuse you guys. Maybe just I could just mention ChatGPT. You can basically do a lot of the stuff with ChatGPT. And if you can also do with Bing ad as well. So if you go to the Bing web page here, click on the top right, you can pretty much ask very similar questions. I could say what did I say earlier? Create a Bing ads PPC strategy. Oh, spell. I forgot the E. Besides create. And it's very similar. But this is less detail compared to ChatGPT. It just says, make sure you create powerful headlines, appropriate keywords, call to action, target your niche, tests, and below here is the sources that they kind of got the information from. So as you can see, it's a little different from the results of ChatGPT. And we're at 6:45. We'll take a 5-minute break at 7, but I think Hugo, maybe we'll give you more time to kind of go over some of these tools here. Maybe we'll go to the landing page here and take a look at the Bing Microsoft Ads homepage. Again, they do offer some credit as well, just like Google for advertising.
Yeah, I was prepared to do. I planned on bringing them straight into the platform and just starting a strategy from scratch. Just how I would build it, campaign to ad group to ads, or anything else you might want to cover. So yeah, I have
Okay.
I have time to cover whatever we need. So
All right, I will give you control of the screen share. And again, Bing ads, they do offer $500 in search advertising when you spend $250. So make sure if you're doing Google or Bing, you utilize the free credit that they provide as well.
yes, did you want me to present right now or wait the 5 minutes?
Yeah, you can go ahead and
Okay.
and start, yeah, because we'll give you a little bit more time because I know last time we were kind of rushing through Google Ads.
Let me know when you can see my screen. So yeah, like you mentioned too, when you start to, as long as you're using an email address that's not associated with an account already created, you'll be given prompts to take advantage of that offer for $500. You have to spend 500, and then you'll get 500 off your next invoice. They're actually, mail you. It's basically a rebate. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, so once you log in, this is what you're going to see. I have a few test campaigns already built out, and we're going to walk through in and out counsel. Is just a previous client of mine. It's lawyers and attorney resources, and that's just the example we're going to be using. And yeah, so what I'll do is I'm gonna start with create. We're gonna go through the best practices and how I build it. We can show you the keyword planner. Before we start this, and I know John went through some differences, but most of you that are going to be running Microsoft ads or Bing ads probably are already going to be running Google ads. And if so, Bing ads does make it pretty easy for you to transfer that entire strategy in Google ads over seamlessly. Up here, just the import button. This is going to save you some time. Import from Google ads. Now I've already done this. This is really user friendly. What you're going to do is you're going to hit sign in with Google, and just your Google credentials you're going to sign into. There's going to be an option to transfer in the entire. Oh yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I think we're not seeing that screen for
okay, sorry.
illustration. Maybe it's the wrong screen.
Yes, sorry about that. Yeah, it tabbed over. Let me go ahead. That's okay. Go ahead and import. And now you cannot see the screen now.
I'm just seeing your desktop right now. Is anyone seeing the same thing as I'm seeing?
Yeah, that's weird.
Yep,
Yeah,
I'm seeing the same as well.
Same here.
Okay, thank you. Give me a second here.
Yeah, maybe you could stop sharing and then reshare again. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was my fault. I had the wrong screen selected. Sorry about that. Now you should see better now.
Yep. Yeah. If you could start it again from earlier, I think you mentioned you can transfer Google ads right over.
So when you first start, this is the beginning platform that you'll see. I've already created this, but once you go through the motions and just put in the basic information, your name, business name, and all that, this is what it will look like without these test campaigns that I've already set up. Now, if you already have Google Ads created, which most of you will, it's a really easy feature that's going to save you a lot of time. It's basically just going to duplicate this. This seamlessly connects to Google Ads. So, and everyone can see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's a landing page after you sign in, right? Or after you sign up, this is what you'll see.
Yeah. Yes. Correct. And I could, I could even log out and log back in. But yeah, if you're new, it's going to just bring you through some prompts. It's going to just like Google Ads, your business name, location, maybe a few KPIs that you're looking for. Really basic, really user friendly. Anyone will be able to do it. And once you start, I'll bring you to a screen like this. These test campaigns obviously won't be there, but you have the option to create one, which we'll go through. But you may not even have to manually create these if you already have a Google Ads account, which most of you will. Just because Google is king, it's over 80% of the market. John alluded to this. Microsoft is a good supplement, but it will never replace Google Ads. You'll never have, while some leads are less costly here and maybe less competitive, and then maybe some low hanging fruit to take advantage of. Just the pure market share Google has over the world market right now. It's about 90%. Google isn't. Microsoft and Bing are in a solid second place. So it's a good supplement if you to add to the Google strategy. Anyway, so if you have a Google strategy and you want to go ahead and import this in, up top here, you just hit import. You can import from a few different channels here. The main one is Google Ads, or the more traditional one. Just hit sign in with Google, and now your usual Google credentials will populate here. I already have a few. Whatever your ID is should already populate there. If not, just click use another account. I see my account here, so I'm going to go ahead and click that. I'm going to close out of it and not able, because I've already done the import. I don't want to duplicate it. But that's it. It's pretty user friendly. Once you do sign in and it connects to Google, it's going to ask you if you want to import the entire account, just one campaign. So you have options. Part of it, maybe you just want to pull in the keywords, or you just want to pull in the whole strategy. Takes a few minutes for that to import the data, and then it'll populate here. Be careful, it'll always be activated. I go and pause it because if you don't, it'll just start running ads, whether it's set up or not. So that's the really easy way. Most of you actually will do that. You're just going to import it from Google, and really that does a lot of the work for you. But what we're going to do now is, if that's not an option, if you don't have Google Ads or you don't have access to it, or you just want to experiment with Bing and Google, Microsoft Ads, and you want to know how to do it from scratch from the start, we'll do that here. So we're going to go ahead and just hit create. If you remember from the last presentation, this is going to look a lot like Google Ads. Some of the terms and the names are a little bit different. It has a search campaign. I'm sorry, search network, just like Google, and then it has an audience network. Audience network is the equivalent of Google's display and kind of YouTube network. Microsoft and Bing do not have a platform like YouTube, but they can show video visuals in the audience network. You have a choice of opting in just for search or just for audience. Again, the audience network would be anything like banner ads, text ads that have images in them or videos in them, anything, basically anything outside of typical search, typical text ads would classify as audio ads. And actually, I was about to say they didn't have an exclusive video option. You had to select audio network, and actually they do, and it's new. I actually just saw this, so that's kind of cool too. Before, what you would have to do is select audience network and then isolate it just a video. But right here, it actually gives us a new option, which is cool, to just do video. Not to get a little distracted here, I'm probably not. Maybe we can walk through some of the demo and the video views and how to set this up, but we would actually have to have a video made and edited and ready to go, which we don't. But I would like to, if we have time, maybe even click through that because that is new. A new feature, and I'm willing to bet it's very similar to how YouTube is set up. But anyways, so I get sidetracked with that now. So in creating, I'm going to use a former client of mine that I work with. This is basically a lead generation strategy for anyone looking for attorneys in their local areas. They're primarily trying to drive website visits and phone calls to the business. Here are the other options. They're not trying to do, retail, e-commerce where someone's walking into their business. And we're not trying to install apps. Smart campaign, it's just like it is in Google. It's going to automate everything and use a lot of the internal AI tools from Microsoft and Bing. But you will relinquish all control over bids and strategy to Microsoft, Bing, or Google, whatever platform you're in. I don't recommend this unless, I recommend having somebody manage it outside of Smart Campaign. But if you don't have the experience and you want Microsoft to lead you with their internal tools, you can select Smart Campaign. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select what's best for this strategy. And that's going to be phone call leads. These people in this example, these are the people hitting the website that are searching for lawyers, and they're either going to want to call or email. I know through my experience, the majority of people are going to call. Probably 3/4 of them, and 1/4 of them will probably email. So I'm gonna go with a phone call to my business here. And we spoke about the two channels, search ads. Pretty much, it's a search network. It's going to be Bing, Microsoft. This also could appear in their partner networks, anything that Microsoft owns. So MSN. I know this was on the slide. MSN, Outlook email, sometimes Xbox if there's any gamers or anyone who likes to use the Xbox brand. You could see audio or search ads depending on how you have it set up. I'm going to go ahead and select search ads for this. But if you ever had banner ads, you had some video that you wanted to display across Microsoft and Bing, anything out of typical text search ads or responsive ads, you would click audience. But we're gonna do search ads. Maybe enough time if I have the creatives and banners and videos, we can do audience. That's a little bit more nuance. Audience ads has the option to target by keywords and audience layering. It's a whole nother discussion, but let's stick with the search ad. So we're going to click next here. Okay, so we're just going to go through the motions here. I'm not going to try to spend too much time on the names, and this stuff is pretty self-explanatory and straightforward. You know the languages you speak and the names and stuff. So just for the motions, I'm just going to go through this part relatively fast. the name of my website, no granted. I like to label it as search, just so I know what I'm targeting right in the campaign name. Individual budget, whatever your budget is. Again, this is really just kind of standard questions here, so I'm not going to spend too much time. I would always, people in your targeted locations, if not, it'll similar to Google Ads. If you don't, if you click both of these, there's a good chance you're going to get traffic outside of your targeted areas. Why would you want clicks and traffic outside of your targeted areas? Most of the time you wouldn't, but sometimes you would, depending, you know, if you're doing branding or something. So I would recommend, especially for lead generation, only have this one click people in the targeted location. It will default to both as it does in Google. I'm sorry, go ahead, John.
Just real quick, I don't know if anyone needs 5-minute break. If not, we can just keep going.
Right, I was going fast. Thank you. Should we do a little interlude for 5 minutes and come back, or should we keep going?
Yeah, no one's saying they need breaks. So yeah, I say we can just keep going. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about a quarter of the way through. I think we're moving pretty fast.
Yeah,
So anyways,
we got time.
so
Like
yes, cool. Yeah, this section here, pretty straightforward. So I'm not gonna spend too much time on this. Dynamic search ads. Basically, this would give the ability for Bing, similar to Google has this option too, to dynamically change and update your ads based on traffic and performance as it sees fits. It's basically going to use their algorithms and their AI decision making. It could put in certain headlines. It's going to scrape your web page. I actually do use this for Google Ads, and I would recommend using it for Bing and Microsoft. But one key thing here, you would have to have a quality website that's built properly with the keywords in the back end and the front end, because it is going to scrape your website. If you don't have anything there, the dynamic ads that it might create or add won't see.
Hugo, quick question. So the language here, I know that, you know, I've worked with numerous people who are bilingual. So, for example, someone who's targeting Spanish speaking, will the ads be translated into Spanish words?
So yeah, so there's two. So all right, so this part here is going to be how people are searching, or not even that. What their internal on their devices, what's the default language? You know, on mine, most of ours is English, but you know, if you're in a Spanish-speaking country, it'll come default to Spanish. So whatever their operating system is set to, and how they search. Now, let's just say we selected all languages, right? We are only targeting keywords in English, so we're English, and we're only targeting people in the United States. So it's not really going to matter that we're targeting all these other countries in Asia and Europe, because no one's going to be searching. We're not targeting any keywords in Italian, nor are we targeting anyone in Italy. So that probably wouldn't matter. I know that we're primarily only targeting English, so just to make sure and not you know, cause any confliction, just do English. If you're thinking, hey, maybe it's English and maybe I want to do Spanish because a lot of people in the United States are Spanish speaking as well, put both. If you're in New York, where there's a lot of native Russian, Spanish, and English, maybe you want to do, or you're targeting an area where you know there's a demographic, an Arabic or a Greek demographic within the United States or whatever country, go ahead and click it. If you really
Then
won't,
your ads would, you would have to write your ads in Spanish, right? If you were to target Spanish, that would be a better way to
yeah,
approach
so
it.
so the keywords, I mean, your ad won't ever be triggered unless someone's searching your keyword. So that's the thing. Now let's say that's something that's similar but a little different. Like our browsers always offer us to a lot of us have that feature to translate a page. I think we've all been traveling, we're on like a different country's website or search engine results, and we Google something in English and it'll give us the option to translate or not. That's a little bit different. That'll help us maybe read. That'll help you maybe translate or read ads that just display to you in a different language, but it won't. For our ads, for any strategy to display, they would have to be targeted by a keyword. So I wouldn't spend most of the time. English is going to be your default. If you automatically click all languages, as long as all your keywords and ads are in English or the appropriate language, it wouldn't really matter. Now, if you're targeting the whole world, if let's say you had a really large strategy, yeah, this would be a lot more important, especially in Europe and in Asia too, where you might have Europeans and certain countries speaking multiple different languages. I know that happens in Asia too. There will be multiple dialects within different countries, and it becomes much more convoluted then. So it's important to look at. I think if you're operating in the United States, Canada, even Latin America, Spanish and English. That's here in Europe and Asia. You might want to go through.
Got it. Yeah, and I think this is good if you wanted to create. This is why you would need two different campaigns if you want to create campaign just for English speaking people, and then if you had want to just write ads to target Spanish speaking people, that would be considered two different ads campaign that you would set up then.
Yeah, I would agree. That's a good point too. Another thing to keep in mind when you're doing that, people in Europe, search results, cost per click averages, just overall performance data. People search differently, and the averages and the estimates are going to be different. So your budget in England is going to be completely different than the United States or in Asia. So yeah, you really want to separate those into their own campaigns, not have that all in one. Otherwise, you'd be basically trying to optimize two different markets in one strategy.
Got it. All right, thank you.
Yeah, but for me, I'm going to do English. If you do in the United States, just click English and Spanish, or just English if you want to avoid Spanish speakers. For whatever reason, depends what's best on your business. But and there's some other options here. Show a disclaimer and ad if you want. Again, I'm not going to go through. That's just pretty basic stuff. Dynamic search ads, I would go ahead and opt in. It's just gonna as long as you have a robust and a quality website, go ahead. If you don't, it's even tell you here content of your website. This is based on the content of your website. If you don't have a good one, it might just not work. If you have a quality, nice website, you just put some resources into, click this. If you have a traditional one, like for instance, my personal one isn't anything, it's not bad, but it's nothing spectacular. I probably would use it on that. If you put money into hiring a web designer, I would click that. If not, maybe that's a good way to. But either way, it won't hurt you. If you have a bet, if it's unable to scrape it and you click that, I don't think it'll hurt you yet, anyways. Okay, so moving on. And here's just kind of a traditional information website URL. I'm going to go a little faster because I don't want to spend a couple minutes on this. English. And if you are missing something, if you are missing something like it just did, it's going to kick you back. I'm just going to make sure you correct it if it's wrong. Sometimes it just doesn't like these extra characters.
I think you just got to take out the www.
Yeah. It wants just the domain. Yep, that was it. Yeah, just that little backslash I didn't like for whatever reason. But the good thing, the kind of good thing about that is if something is not right, it won't let you move forward. So there's no way to hold back the. So go ahead, ad group. I'm just going to put lawyers. This is so for your ad group, each specific product, service, or keyword theme should be its own ad group. I'm just gonna. We're not gonna. There's going to be several ad groups in every strategy. But I'm just going to go lawyers. We'll do something like more specific. Local lawyers. People hitting this website that I use as an example are looking for lawyers. Now this too, we're going to go through a regular ad setup too. These are dynamic ad setups. I think this is a good example too. So we can do regular traditional ads, and we'll do dynamic ads. Dynamic ads, like I already mentioned, are going to use website content, but also past search patterns with these local search phrases. Google or Bing, in this case it's Bing, will mix and match and A/B test automatically as traffic comes in. That's the difference between dynamic and non-dynamic. Go ahead and go to website. And I want to move from here. This is just to add that dynamic feature. they're pushing this. It's a newer feature, and that's why they put this in front of me first. But typically, the typical standard ad group is right here. So we're going to do a little bit of both. So we have our dynamic set in. Dynamic, you notice, is a lot easier. It's just going to scrape my website, and then it's going to compile the Microsoft is going to compile the ad. And that's why it's important to have a quality website. If we don't like what they do, we just pause the dynamic, and we're going to rely typically on the stable. And which is cool too, which I just noticed. And I don't even know if Google offers this feature, but it said website not ready. Typically, you can't start or even save ad groups without a website. It's interesting that it gives you the option there. I don't know why you're launching why we would launch a strategy if the website's not ready, but it gives you the option to start it. And right off the bat too, which is kind of cool. I put in, and this is just a test to the machine learning that Microsoft and Bing has in place. I don't know if anyone noticed. As soon as I put in there the domain correctly, all of the automatically all of the estimates popped up and suggestions. It's kind of cool. This is exactly what we would get from the keyword planner, and it looks like Bing is just giving us this feature just to let us know, like, hey, you have this many million searches per month, and this is a lawyer service. There's tons of search demand here. We have close to a million searches here, 100K here, so we have a lot of high competition, but a lot of opportunity here, as we can see. So automatically, almost like this is kind of cool too, and this is a newer feature, almost like a chat GPT example that he gave us. It's even structuring it out for us, or giving us suggestions on how to structure it out. Lawyer, lawsuit, and it's doing a decent job. Attorney, lawyers near me. It's actually doing not a bad job. Got to be careful because the computer's doing this. You got to look and just make sure. Injury lawyer, personal injury lawyer, all of these look pretty good. It's going to give you the option to apply all of them. Maybe you can do that to start, but we'll want to go back and organize them. But there's 91 keywords here. I'm just curious. So yeah, it looks like while setting up in the settings, you can actually put together your strategy too. This is pretty cool too. So anyway, any keywords that you know you'll use, go ahead and select them. If not, go ahead and just close it out. We can do this later. This is really just combining the next step into this step. This is a cool feature just to kind of give you an overview of what to expect just based off your URL. Go ahead and sorry.
Sorry, I was wanted to point out a monthly average cost per click is $1.27. That's pretty low. If I was to search that on, I know Mitchell mentioned that earlier. If I just did like lawyers on Google, it's probably gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be like, so I'll do it right now. So if I just did lawyers, it's coming out as average cost per click is about $5.
Yeah,
$5.75. So you're looking at 400% increase.
Yeah, that's a big difference too. Now, if and when you're like me and my personal webpage doesn't have a lot of search traffic, I probably won't get these results. You know what? Why don't we go ahead and try it? Could be wrong. I don't think it is. I don't have a lot of traffic. I almost put no. I didn't put too many keywords in the back end. Again, it's just a PPC landing page I drive traffic to. But I'm just curious because I don't have. So what I'm trying to test here is I'm going to go ahead and put in my URL, and what I don't want it to. I actually don't want it to put back or give back results because then I want to search my service or products here. So this is what happens if you have a new web page, you don't have a lot of traffic. Yeah, I want to see what it is. It's probably not going to give me much, but it might scrape some of the. Oh, you know what? It did. It did a pretty good job. I work specifically in paid search and Google Ads, but it's pulling up some. I'm not in social media, but it's close. This is why you gotta kind of be careful. So it wouldn't be appropriate, but it's close to social media. Online advertising. This is appropriate down here. So a few of these would work for me. Windows Media Player would not. So this is kind of weird because I built this page myself, and this is just to show you. I think it's supposed to say Google. If that said Google, that'd be better. But these digital marketing or online advertising down here, those aren't so bad. But this isn't really that targeted. For me, if I'm going to do, I don't really like it. It's not targeted enough. The last example we just did was very targeted. It looked very good. But so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put in like Google ad services. This is kind of one of the services I offer. And this is the keywords on my web page too. So now we can go ahead and see here. Okay, so now we have some more action here. Google Ads Management. This is something that I would bid on and I would advertise for. Uh, so you get the idea. So URL or your product or service, and it's going to give you projections. Usually that happens at the next step. Looks like this new feature pulls it right in, just saves us a little bit of time, which is great. So go ahead and continue. And I can even add another ad. You can actually add all your ad groups right here. Okay, so I think this is good enough. Oh, sorry, I didn't pull in. Okay, sorry. So if we do want to add them, we're going to go ahead and add a few. We're just going to hit the plus sign. You know, it's not going to just add the 3 here. It's going to add the 39, 40, or in my case, the 90 below that. I would go through individually, make sure you're adding the right ones, but just for this example, I'm just going to go ahead and do that. Maybe we'll go ahead and add some more too. So you can see all our keywords here. This one probably should be in 2 ad groups, but again, just for the sake of saving time, because I have attorneys, right? I have attorneys in here, and then I have, maybe these could all fit in attorney services. This could loosely all fit in one ad group. I think corporate litigation attorneys could be different, but attorneys, nothing lawyer related is in here, or law firm related, just attorneys. So I think that would actually.
And Hugo, now these keywords are all broad, right? Because when you add them like that,
Probably when you go ahead and just they're probably going to put it in just broad. Now you want afterwards we'll be able to switch it to. There's 2 ways you could put in. There's an easy at the after we could switch it to exact or phrase. We could manually go through the whole list and put the parentheses and put the parentheses around it to make them either phrase or exact, but it's very manual. It takes a long time. At the end, we can switch them all to phrase or exact, or even the Google Ads editor would be a better solution. All right, so what it did, I already set up call extension, so it's gonna ask me if I want to use it. Yes. Any ad extension, go ahead and add that on. Call out extensions, these are just extra descriptions of your product or service that'll expand your ad. Same thing with Google Ads call outs, it just adds extra places to click, extra real estate. The bigger your ad is, the more chances it'll be clicked, and it also pushes your competitors down, forcing them to bid more to compete. Whatever ones, it's going to scrape your website and give you recommendations, or you can manually put them in. I already had manually put these in. Since I'm starting a new one, I'm just going to transfer these right over. If you want to edit or add new ones, just click the edit symbol or add new call out down here. And put in whatever you feel is appropriate for your business or service. Review extensions, if you have any reviews related to your service, this is more prominent on Google, but if you do have Yahoo or Bing reviews and you want those to display under your ad, you can connect those as well. More site links related to the services or products. Add as many that are appropriate, and price extensions of your product. You want to advertise the price, promotions, and newer. Again, this is self-explanatory. If you have a flyer or an image ad, more like a banner, you want to upload under your ad, you can do that as well. Whole different options. Just go through and pick whatever's best for you. Okay. Okay, it wants a dynamic. Let's see that. Dynamic ad. Okay, so it wants a 1 dynamic ad. So we'll go ahead and create a dynamic ad. We don't actually, I think we should be able to, let's go ahead and, okay. Yep. So go ahead. What we're going to do is we're going to really fast just finalize these 2 here. These are really basic, really kind of elementary ad text headliners, but again, we're just trying to, in this instance, because this is dynamic, we get to kind of give Google 2 ad text up to 70 characters each, and they'll use these 2. Everything else, see, it'll even tell you dynamically generated headline. This is going to be pulled off what people search and off your website. Down below here, lawyer near me, that's what we can add. But the top headliner is going to be generated by Microsoft and Bing's algorithms. So basically, AI. Okay, that's created, and this is what it's going to look like. I'm going to have local lawyer near me, top rated law firm. I probably should have put a call to action like call now, best reviewed in our area. You'd want to get a little bit more creative with the ad copy there. For saving time, I kept it brief. These dynamically generated headlines, we don't have any direct control over, but what it's going to do, it's going to pull all the verbiage off here and using the algorithm, make it display properly. So it's going to read well and it should do all that. Now back to the standard ad groups. We're going to go ahead, create a traditional text lawyer. Now we already have the keywords associated with this. We did that in you saw that when I brought those keywords over. We're just going to do something similar. Go through the fields here. It's going to want a URL, headlines. Now you have 2 options here. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and just pull some about. I'm going to pull some text. Okay, just going to take a couple of their slogans. Now here we just put a dynamic ad. So you have 2 options here. You can manually put in the headliners to be very specific to your product, service, and company or brand, or you can do a dynamic text. We just did it a dynamic ad group. We just did that, so it wouldn't make sense to do it here again unless you wanted it all dynamic, which is the point of doing it 2 different ways is having one ad group where Google is kind of doing its thing using its dynamic AI capabilities to A/B test and kind of in that performance, and then the other standard responsive search ad groups is what we put together manually, not having Google dynamic change it. So it's good to have both. You can compare and A/B test and use the best one. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in. This is the slogan that came off the top. Now, when I click here and don't do anything, it already has given me a few suggestions based on scraping my website and then giving me a few good suggestions based on what's on my web page, because it's a web page with a lot of traffic. So all this stuff, all this verbiage here that is automatically filled in, this is on my web page somewhere. Affordable business lawyer. So or lawyers or something like that. It's basically one best practice. This really doesn't. Every letter of every word should be capitalized. Take up as much space properly as possible. Business lawyers, something like that. Okay. Descriptions. Now these will automatically be A/B tested and then positioned over time what performs best. If you know a call out or a description headliner already performs best, or you just want one because it's important to have on top, you can pin it. So if I pinned it here, this would always be in position 1, no matter what. And then Google will A/B test these around to see what's best. If I want to have full control, I'll pin all of them in whatever order I want them in. If I want Google to mix and match them as an A/B test them as the system, as AI sees fit, don't pin any of them. There's a lot of flexibility here. I'm going to leave them open. So this is kind of cool where we have control over what the headlines will be, but not in what order they are. Google will decide that. Or we can decide the order by pinning them. So a lot of, a lot of different opportunities there. Now, again, I went ahead and scraped my website, gave me a good suggestion. You know what? It only gave me 1. So here it only gave me 1 description about 90 characters, but I'm going to go ahead and find another one that makes sense. It's not going to always scrape your website and possibly tell you, do a suggestion. Sometimes you have to go find it. But you should always be on your website. I like this right here. Finding business legal has never been. I like this here. So finding part-time, something basic like this. And again, I'm not spending a lot of time making these ads the most quality they could be, and for the sake of presentation, we're doing this kind of fast, but you get the idea. Okay, and I think that's good enough. Now I created 3 ad groups, and we made ads for 2 of them. I have a third ad group that wants me to make ads for. I don't really think we need to do that. I did one for a lawyer's local attorney. If it makes sense, we'll go ahead and do it, but it's what we just did, so I don't want to waste time on that yet. I wonder if I can do it like this. No, we'll just go ahead and do it fast. So I created 2 different ad groups here, standard ad groups, one for local lawyers, one for attorney. And since I added keywords to the attorney, it's going to make me create the ad for it. It won't let me just delete it. That's fine. So we're basically going to do a second example here pretty fast. Maybe this will be good because I won't be talking as much. Again, these are all call outs from somewhere on my webpage that it feels like it's a good, meaningful call out. If you don't like them, go ahead and just put in whatever you need, whatever you feel like is better. All right, so that's it. So our strategy so far, we have in our one campaign, we have 3 different ad groups, one standard ad group for local lawyers, another one for attorneys. Then we have a dynamic one, which is basically, Google's going to be creating those ads dynamically outside of the 2 headliners we put there. And then you're going to be able to see which ones perform better, make decisions on which one you want to keep or right. And I think we're good here. All the stuff I just ran through are just ad extensions and additional details you can add onto your ad if you see fit. This is budget per day. This is going to sound very similar to, look very similar to the Google Ads presentation we did. I don't spend too much time on this. Put in whatever individual budget you need. Now, different bid strategies. This is important. This is almost identical to Google as well. I always, depending on what you're doing, your KPIs and your goals, if you're a small and medium-sized business owner, go in manual. You'll have more control and you'll have more potential to maximize your ROI from manual. You can use some of these automated bidding systems and you can have it work well. You just have to know what you're doing, know when to turn it on. You have to collect enough data properly, manage it properly to get these automated bidding strategies to work. Often they take time. Whereas manual, while it takes time, you can do it in much less. So, manual enhanced CPC, that's what I would go with. If you want to start adjusting bids here, I'd set it at the default and then go back in and do it. It's even going to give you some estimates.
Yeah, I like how they show the estimated monthly budget spend as well. So it looks like average monthly spend for the keyword lawyers logo is about $400, right, per month spend. So you put in $20, so times 30, that's about $600 that you have a budget for the month. So that's plenty, because I was gonna say if we only did $5, it'll be kind of under budget for what Microsoft recommends, which is about $400 a month.
Yeah, it did a pretty good job at defaulting everything. It does a decent job, but I would always double check. Yeah, and this is a really cool layout here. Bing Ads has came a long way, and it's definitely trying to compete with Google. It almost, it's just preference, just my opinion. But some of the stuff even seems a little bit more user friendly than maybe what Google has. It's different. It just depends on what you're used to. I like these estimates here that come. You can get these same estimates in Google, but they don't have it right here. Very user friendly, right in front of your face. They have it on a different page. So this is cool. Yeah, and one thing, as we all probably know, anyone who spent time this stuff, every 2 or 3 months we go in here, there's a new feature. As we saw in the beginning, there's a dedicated video upload feature for ads now. Bing didn't have that before. So,
Yeah,
Excited
and
for
I
it.
was gonna say, yeah, I like how you can see that monthly estimated clicks you'll get about 1,951, and estimated monthly impressions you'll get about 33,000. And again, that's important because to get the conversion rate, um, you'll need these two numbers, which is conversion rate is equal to the total goal completions divided by the number of website visits, right? So, so if you have a landing page and you have that set up for the number of a conversion would be a lead that submitted a form, for example. So you'll take that completed number of conversion divided by the total number of website visits. So let's say if you had 100 people that visited your website and you had um, 10 people that completed the submission form on your website, then you'll have a 10% conversion rate. Does that make sense for everyone? So that's how you calculate conversion rates, and you want to make sure you're around that 5%, right? I don't know about what would you say, Hugo, a good conversion rate, average conversion rate?
Sorry, I was muted there. I was talking.
Oh, okay.
Muted. It's really going to depend on the industry and the industry average. Whatever you probably already know what the industry averages is within your expertise, but it's just going to depend. I don't know. I think if you go on SEM Rush and you get like the average across Google, I think is closer to 20%. I think Bing is closer to 5 or 10%, but that's across all industries and across the world. So that might not translate to you. But yeah, these numbers here will give you a good idea. And then if you jump over to SEM Rush, a demo I believe we did partially today and last week, that'll give you the exact cost per lead. And then you match that up with this, and then you can really gauge what you expect to spend, how you're gonna compete. And those averages for cost per lead too, you got to keep in mind that's assuming that your pricing is in check the way it's supposed to be with competitors. That means your reviews are in check, your website's in check. You have everything else that drives conversion in check. Then um, we can rely on those numbers. If your pricing is not competitive, or if you have bad reviews, or you're still just going through the growing pains, and you're just new and you're just starting off, you don't have the reviews. Your conversion rate might be higher than what the estimates are, but that's just that's with any business. Yeah, so moving on from this, yeah, we stopped and spent a little bit more time on this before we'd have to actually go to the keyword planner to see this, and Bing and Microsoft has done a good job of incorporating it right into the setup, which is convenient. Okay, so campaign is created. Now, normally what I'll do, I was going to bring you into the key, and we'll still do it. Be careful here, so it automatically enables it. So if you don't go ahead and pause it, it's going to start spending, attached to whoever's credit card is attached to the account, which is mine. So you just make sure you don't want to do that. So I'm going to go in now, and I'm going to go through the keyword planner anyways. So go to tool. So just like Google, it's in the same place. There's even some cool new features here. And this is looking a lot like Google Ads, and even some new features too that are worth exploring. But that's another call. But let's go ahead and hit the keyword planner. This is probably going to look similar to what we were just looking at. So we have 3 different options here. Let's find new keywords. If we already have our keywords, let's get search volume and data and trends. That's what we were just looking at. But I'm curious to see, it's probably a more robust version here. Or let's get similar to what we were talking about, get performance and cost estimates. We don't really need new keywords. We know we're looking for lawyers. And I know you know within your business, within your niche, what you're targeting. So I don't really think we're not struggling to find new keywords. I think what we're interested in is the volume trends, volume data, performance, cost, and estimates. So, yeah, so let's start searching. So we have different. We're gonna research the last 12 months, Microsoft's network in the United States for English speakers. Let's do, I don't know. Let's I've been doing a lot of work with real estate lawyers with this decent market with everything going on, believe it or not. At least in the Florida market, real estate lawyers are always looking for it, being a Google Ads or works. Anyways, let's just see. I'm just we've been doing. Okay, so this is not just real estate, but this is lawyers in real estate. Possibly someone who could go here. A little bit more niche. Well, let's just look at it. Okay, so we for real estate lawyers or state, you know what? I think real estate's probably. Let's do a state lawyers. We'll have much more search demand on that. I don't know about the same, but it doesn't really matter. Okay, so it's still a decent amount. About 2,500 searches a month. High competitiveness. An average suggested top page bid of $1.40. That's not bad. I know if it's high competitive in Google, this could be well into the double digits. You know, closer to 10 or 20. So yeah, so and again, you can put in just about as many keywords as you want here, and we can do it. Oh, I should have done it individually. My fault. Anyway. Very low. Did you get the idea? You just play around with the keywords related to your business. This is a lot more, 2,500. We could do like criminal lawyer. Low search, but you get the idea. So you have two different options to do the keyword research here, where you just go into tools, keyword planner, but Microsoft and Bing, as we saw just in the prior demo, will literally walk you through this process in a really user-friendly way to get you set up. So what it's going to look like. This is our new campaign. Here are the three ad groups. We did two standard and one dynamic. Let's go into one of these ad groups. It's going to a whole bunch of keywords. Remember, I just clicked add. There they are. They're all broad, and I recommend going through these and making sure they all make sense. You know, and tailoring them, editing them so they make sense, deleting the ones that don't. Now we don't like the fact that they're all broad. Well, I know in Google. I wonder if there's a way to do this. Yeah. So what we're gonna have to do here. There's two ways to do this. You know what? Why don't we just maybe this is a good way to introduce Bing editor. So in the beginning, I could have put them in. You can just go in individually and do them like this. There's 93 keywords here, so yes, that would mean. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we can do this in a mass edit. That's what we're going to do. So I'm just trying to find a way how to do it, not to do it manual. So we're gonna have to. So yeah. So in order to do this, let's go back to your. Okay. So yeah, we would have to either go through manual. That is kind of tedious. If you have a few keywords, not a big deal. You have 93. That's kind of a lot. So what we're gonna do. Hopefully I don't have to download it. So we're going to open something called Bing Ads Editor. It's just like Google Ads Editor. And this is really helpful to make bulk edits and really streamline. Yeah, it's going to make me download it. Yeah, for the sake of just our presentation, I don't want. Let me download this in the background if we have time. So basically, it's an editor tool. It's like an Excel sheet, a virtual Excel sheet. If you're similar to Google Sheets or Google Ads editor, it's the same thing. As we're talking, I'm trying to download it, but you have to log in and do a few other things. I don't want to waste. If we have time, I want to demo this too. And with the Google Ads editor, you can work online and offline. So let's say we're working on this the way we are now. After this, I'm going to get on a plane in 5 or 6 hours. I could download this onto my laptop and work on the Google Ads or Bing Ads editor offline. Do everything we're doing now offline. And then as soon as I hit the ground, as soon as I get Wi-Fi connection, I can beam it I can upload it right to the dashboard, or even set a time to have automatically upload once I hit an internet connection.
And Hugo, I was gonna say if you click highlight all the keyword, you should be able to change match type as well.
Here?
Edit, under edit, and then
Oh,
change
yeah.
match.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is even easier. Okay, so you don't need yeah, so that's what I was looking for. So you actually don't need the editor. You can do it with the editor, but this is much easier. So I'm gonna change all broads. I'm gonna just, for instance, this is what I would recommend, changing all broads to phrase, and then go back in and we'll just demo it. Sounds good. So we'll go here. Yeah, thank you for that. I knew that had to be an easier way. Okay, great. So now all my broads are changed to phrase, just like that. But now we're missing exact. We don't want to so what we're going to do here, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy all of these and then paste them right back in. That's the best way to do it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna check here. Okay, I'm gonna do this. I just want to verify one thing here. Go back in. So all those keywords should be phrase. Okay, well, it is local. All right, so what I did here is we took all of the broad words and we just changed them to phrase. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add those same exact words again, right, under local lawyers and get near me. So I'm gonna go ahead and put oh, where is that? Oh, you know what? No. Or I may need to edit this. Change my yeah, so I may need the editor for this as well. Copy. Okay, here it is. Here's what I was looking for. Sorry about that. Things are in a little bit of different place than they are in Google. So we want change match type, and we want to go ahead and duplicate keywords and change match types and duplicates. That's what we want. We want to do phrase to exact. So what it's going to do is going to duplicate my phrase, but keep those, it should, and then turn the new duplicates into exact. Okay. Those are my exact, and I'm going to phrase. No, return it. Okay, there they are. So now we have exact, we have all the phrase there, and we have all the exact there. So that's how you would do it. That's how you would get rid of, and we did that all without the editor. I still would recommend the editor to help with bulk changes. These two particular ones look like the tools are right here natively, but that's how you do it. Again, all we did is we highlighted them. Went over here, change match types, change the match types, and then do it again. We'll click that, and then click the appropriate setting there. So we'll go back to that.
And if anyone has any question with the, what the phrase match or any of these is, there's a little box and question mark you can click on, and it'll tell you more information about, if you want to know more about match type, you can click on a box and you can click on a link, and Microsoft will explain to you what all these match type mean if you're not clear on the different match types.
Yeah, yeah, and real quick too, exact is kind of self-explanatory. It needs to be exactly what the keyword is, or very, very similar, like lawyer, a lawyer's phrase. Um, it needs to be, it needs to be within a phrase of a search, but it could be in any order. So, it could be personal lawyer near me in Chicago. But that would trigger for a phrase, not a match. Phrases. So yeah, corporate lawyers in New York or whatever. So they can be words on before or after it, so it wouldn't be an exact match, and the phrase would pick that up. Exact has to be exact, and that's it. And broad is broad. So let's just say this was broad. Ignore phrase. Let's just say we had broad there. Our ads could trigger for just the searches that include need, lawyer, or now independently. You could be searching, I need a doctor now, and a broad keyword would trigger this. Even though we're looking for a lawyer, I need a doctor now, need and now are in the search term. Lawyers not, but it doesn't need to if it's only if it was a broad match. So that's why they're so dangerous, really casting the net wide. Frauds and phrase and exact only for most of your strategies. Again, if this was broad, any keyword search in the entire internet that has the word finding in it or lawyers, independent of each other. So Finding Nemo, completely unrelated. Your ad could show for that if it was broad. Someone looking for the movie, literally. So you'd be way off there. So that's important. So anyways, I did want to show you the reason I went back in here. I did want to show you the ads we created, the actual ad copy in the beginning. So we go in here. This is the campaign level. Computer's getting really slow now. These are our two ad groups. We're going to go into this one we've been working at. We're gonna see the keyword level we've been looking at, but now we're gonna go a step further. All right, so here's my ad. Now for each ad group, you should have at least 2 or 3. I recommend 3. I think Google or Bing recommends 3. But here's my ad. Now I can go back in, edit my ad, change any particular headliner that I like. If I want to give more power to Google or Bing, hit dynamic text. That means that whatever you put here could change dynamically. I don't have that selected. If I don't want it to be mixed and matched for A/B testing, don't pin them, and then they won't move around. But so yeah, so that's what that looks like, and just gonna go over here and it's pulling some images off my. It's a good example of how fast I can scrape your website. See all these images here. I'm willing to bet we're gonna find these around here somewhere. Yep. See this little light bulb, I guess it is, or it's like a hot air balloon light bulb. I don't know what's going on here, but anyways, I pulled that image, and it went across. And as we were talking, it went across and just scraped some images. Probably took this right here. There's people putting up some graphs, but you get the idea. And this is a pretty good website. Giving some highlights to my client here. It's a pretty good website, so they're pulling some decent imaging here. And let's see. I want to see one more thing. Okay, yeah. So this is what I want to see. So this is the ad. This is literally how ignore everything around it. If I could even do like a little. You get the idea. So this is if we had side view. This is what it would look like on mobile, and it's actually going to look bigger than this. If you remember, I didn't maximize all of the headliner space just for the sake of saving time. I think that could be put up to 30 in the descriptions and 90 in the ones below. But this is how our ad would look. Top view, we get top position on the web page. It would look like this. So you can play around. And let's say you don't like it. You don't like how, or you want to save money legal fees up here. You want business lawyers down here. Come back up here and then pin them appropriate to what you want. Recommended headlines that we're not using. We can throw a few of these in there. Just added one. Dedicated legal representation. Yeah, I like that. So it's actually giving me some. Let me add some more headliners. Just giving me some by scraping my website, giving me some ideas. And let's look at it. Not much of a change, but it is a little bigger now. See that? So yeah, so there's some really cool interactive tools that Bing has developed here, similar to Google. Maybe even a little bit more user friendly. Less reach, yes, but definitely worth exploring. So yeah, so that's it. Now, I know we have 15 minutes left. I wanted to open the floor up. John, if you want me to cover anything else or anyone have any other questions. I would have liked to demo the Google Ads editor, but I'm telling you, it's going to take me 10 minutes to download that, log in. So we'll save that for.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe we can go to setting and just kind of show how it's connected to LinkedIn profiles.
Yeah,
In the
so
settings.
yeah, so this automatically gonna, so I opted in for yeah, that's a good one here. So one of the differences here too is, so with Google Ads, settings like that, your network settings are always done on the campaign level. With Bing Ads, it's done on the ad group level. So a lot of, someone might ask then, okay, what is better? Well, it really depends on what the strategy is. If you have each individual ad groups and you want them to be targeting different networks, which isn't always common, but you may need to do it, then that would be a great tool to have. Whereas in Google, you would most likely have to separate all the different networks into different campaigns because you wouldn't want to mix up a video or a display campaign with search. Here, you have the ability to change that per ad group within the same campaign, if that makes sense. But anyways, let's get into so let's go. So normally in Google, I'd be going into the campaign level, and the reason I'm not here is because Bing and ads is done the ad group level. But let's go in and change and how to confirm if we're opted in to take advantage of all the network partners, including LinkedIn. Now, so the Bing and Microsoft Ads search network, if you just opt into that, it includes everything. It defaults to include everything. So basically, what I'm going to show you now is how to opt out, because just creating it alone, you should already be opted into everything, including the ability to show ads on LinkedIn profiles, not throughout LinkedIn search results. Just keep that. Okay, so how do we do this? Yeah. And of course, you would have to link, and maybe this could be a different demo. You'd have to link your merchant LinkedIn account to Microsoft or Google, whichever one you're trying to link it to. You would do that through linked accounts here. It's a whole other thing. So let's stick with what we're doing. Okay, so we want to opt out or confirm that we're opted in to all the network channels. This here. So click on the ad group that you want and then click on settings. And now I believe it's in advanced ads. Okay. Here we go. Ad distribution. Okay, it's right at the bottom here. It's going to be here. Ad distribution. Here it is. Okay, so this is again, we're already defaulted into the Microsoft advertising network. That includes everything. That includes if we want to do search ads, if we want to do audience ads, which includes video, display. And Microsoft advertising network is Bing, Yahoo, MSN, Outlook, anything Xbox related. I think we had it in the slide. LinkedIn headliner profiles. Any emails associated with MSN, Microsoft, Link, you see those ads pop up. Anything, any search engine related to Yahoo, Bing, or Microsoft. Now, if you wanted to just do Microsoft sites, that means just Yahoo and Bing, and other select traffic sites, whether you could do this and then you could go ahead and put in specific URLs or exclude certain URLs. Okay, yeah. So if you want to exclude, let's say you wanted to opt in to, I'm just going to give you an example. You wanted to opt in to the recommendation, which is basically everything, but we really didn't want to show anywhere in, let's say, MSN emails. And we don't need to have our ad shown on Xbox. You got to find out the URL that's associated with that. I know MSN is MSN.com. Xbox is I don't know. I play PlayStation, so I don't know. But you can find out. You know what I mean. If you wanted to show up on Yahoo but not Bing, I'm sorry, Bing but not Yahoo, you would put Yahoo in there. So now it would show everywhere in the Microsoft atmosphere or in the search network, except MSN and Yahoo, which are two big sections of the Microsoft search network. So this is where you would go. You go to the ad group, and you go to settings, and just play around with it. Opt in, opt out, what you think is appropriate. Exclude if you don't want to show up on Xbox, MSN, Yahoo, or you only want Bing, or vice versa. Go ahead and put what you want here. It's a good idea to look up. We can even look it up now. What are the websites? All the websites. I know Google has like almost 100 websites included. I mean, you could do it. Websites included in the Microsoft Bing network, and just make sure you want to be on all of them. Some of them might be like newsletters. Outlook's another one. MSN News is another one. Several dozens to choose from. So if you don't like some of them, this is where you would opt in or out. It's going to default to recommended. If you want to be eligible for all features, just leave it at recommended, and then go ahead and link your LinkedIn, link your your Reddit, your Google Ads, or whatever else you want to integrate with, and you should be all set.
Yeah, no, that's good. And yeah, I know in demographics, you could do target by company, industry, job functions. If you want to just target it CEOs or people with C-level status, you could do that. So it's a little different from Google, but I think Bing, Microsoft allows you to kind of on the demographics allow you for that. But that's like a whole new another webinar that we would end up doing if we were to go through all this stuff. But I know we only got 10 minutes left. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. But again, as you can see, this takes time to really fine tune, tweak, and do research. But if you have the proper knowledge and help, you can set up really effective ads.
Yeah, and you're right. Probably on another call, but you mentioned on the audience lists that Google offers. You probably can find most of those over on this tab too. But this would be more for video, display, or Bing and Yahoo called the audience network. Not traditional search ads. So we do have that option here, but again, it's a whole nother world, like John said. So I'll stop talking. Go ahead, Joe.
No, this is good. Just like I said, this takes time to set up. It took us like an hour just to kind of create some of the ads, but these are just like we went through this really quick. So anyone who's looking to set up ads, take your time, go through it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to one of us here, and we can kind of take a look at your campaign. But I think Hugo showed a really good way to input Google Ads already. So if you already have Google Ads campaign set up and you're running ads on Google already, you can just import that from Google right into your Bing ads. So I would say I would test out both Bing and Google to see which one works best, and even run both, because some people only use Bing and they don't search on Google. So you're missing some of the customers or traffic from there too. So I recommend trying both, see which one's more effective. Any questions, anyone? And that pretty much concludes our session here. Go ahead, Hugo.
No, I was agreeing with you. I was going to. I just wanted to stop my screen. No, yeah. If anyone had any questions or you want me to cover anything, just let me know. Yeah, it was good practice. Good practice for me too. Some of those features on there, as we saw, were new, but it's exciting to see. And I think they're all as this space gets bigger, it's getting more and more user friendly.
Yeah, they're always updating the platform with new features and changing tools around and stuff to navigate. Yeah. So, just to kind of recap, there's 8 online workshops for this cohort on AI digital marketing, and we're at number 7 here, which is Bing. So next week, it's going to be focused on Google Analytics, Search Console, Google Tag Manager, how to measure traffic conversion, lead sales, your KPIs, and we'll probably touch a little bit on CRM. If you were to run lead gen and someone submits a form, how does that go through like a funnel, right? How does that go to, why should you use a CRM system to kind of manage your leads? And we'll show a little bit of that, and mainly focus on Google Analytics and reporting, where we'll have some reports and data to show you how you can measure your website traffic and all that. So that's next week. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'll reach out to Hugo, and we'll take a look at your ads if you like. And we can schedule a one-on-one appointment and kind of share screen and also help you give advice on anything that you're working on for this cohort. So anything from social media to AI tools to setting up ads, feel free to reach out to us. And again, that pretty much wraps up our session for tonight. Any other questions before I close out this? No questions? Okay. All right, great. Well, I appreciate you all attending tonight's webinar. Again, I'll shoot out an email with the video that we recorded today along with the presentation, and we'll see you all next week. Thank you, Hugo. Thank you, everyone else. Have a good
Thank you.
night.
Thank you. Good night.